Many thanks for your company. Now, the quest to woo more customers to buy their products has driven some food vendors ranging from cooked meals, snack sellers, hawkers, among others, to adulterate their worth for attraction. The unsuspecting public patronize these foods, which include even fruit sold in traffic, only to later suffer health complications, which they are unable to determine the cause. There are very disturbing videos of such instances that have gone viral, causing lots of panic among the general public about the safety of their health as they unknowingly buy some of these goods occasionally. Now, one of such videos that went viral was of a woman washing oranges with a certain liquid, which made the oranges turn yellow after some time. Well, there's some good news, though. The FDA has arrested some suspected perpetrators in connection with this developing trend. But what happens to the products already on the market? Joining me in studio is a senior regulatory officer, Mr. Edward Archer, to tell us more on safeguarding the public amid all of these dangers on the market. But the video I'm talking about, the particular viral video, and of course, it's not only one, we've seen a couple others. I want to show you that particular video. Well, really disturbing videos there. Like I mentioned earlier, I've got Mr. Archer in studio with me. He's a senior regulatory officer at the Food and Drugs Authority. You are welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Well, for me as a consumer, this is extremely frightening, and I am not exaggerating at all, because for us it's very difficult to determine. So we trust that the Food and Drugs Authority should be doing some good work here. Now, we've seen this particular video of the orange seller washing the oranges with some sort of solution. I don't know what it is. Do you know what it is? Because you've arrested the perpetrators. Do you have an idea what it is and what kind of solution it is, and whether it's safe for human consumption at all?
Right, thank you very much. I must say that, like you mentioned, adulteration in any shape or form, it's fraudulent and must not be encouraged. I can speak to the first video regarding the orange because we've done so much work, regarding that video. I think about 3 days ago, that was when the video came out. And the Food and Drugs Authority, on that same day, make some steps. I personally was involved together with the CID, and we worked deep into the night, trying to fish out, some of these activities. We got our informants right. We're directed to Medina, where the said woman was operating. And unfortunately, we couldn't get the woman then because we heard she had gone to the market. But there were a lot of evidence to show that that is where the activity was. For instance, you would have seen a rack behind the container. We saw it. We saw the bucket and all that. So, not getting her, we went further. We went to a couple of vendors that were selling oranges at the traffic light. And as a technical person, I was quite curious, especially looking at how some of the oranges were looking so bright. Ordinarily, you might not see it bright like that. And so we called them, and then, we bought some, and then I examined it, and I realized that, no, something probably has been done to it. And so we got about 2 of them together with the CID. And so we took them to the police station, and then we interrogated them. And they confirmed, that they were adding, and I would explain to you what they told us. The case is still with the CID, so I wouldn't probably go into the merit of it, but I can share with you what they told us. So what they said was, they have water, the orange peels, they dip it, they soak it into the water, and then sprinkle alum, onto it. And so, the water kind of deepens in terms of the coloration. Because you see, the oranges, we have, different types, especially depending on the ripening. So some is very bright, meaning that it's well ripe, and then some are green. And then ordinarily, if you see the one that is green, you might think, okay, it's not sweet. And so to them, they think that when they dip it into the soaked water, it kind of facilitates, the coloration of the orange. And it's appealing to the customers. And so that is why they are doing that. And so, like I said, because the case is with the CID and still the investigation is ongoing, I wouldn't probably talk to the merit of it. But we also had information that some people are adding colors to it. And so some are extremely, colorful. And very, very, you see the color and you see that it's very, very orange.
But Mr. Archer, you mentioned that they put alum in the water in which they've already soaked the orange peels. Is alum safe for consumption?
Well, like I said, I might not want to go into the safety of it, at this stage. The reason is that
that's the concern.
Just a second. The reason is that, you see, to you, if we tell you that they are adding alum to to orange, the orange that we all buy and consume, what would be your first reaction? That is unusual to us as Ghanaians.
Okay.
We know that we have our orange that we consume, naturally. So if there is anything that is being added to it, okay, they are doing it to deceive us, because you are not aware of it. Okay. So that is fraudulent. That is not something that we should encourage.
So even if alum is safe for consumption, the fact that they are deceiving the public on what the true state of the product is, it's fraudulent.
It's a cause of worry. And so the Food and Drug Authority would not, let this practice continue. And that is why, like I said, we have been working on it. The next day, I don't want to, tell all the things that we've done so far, but I can tell you and assure the public that we've worked extensively, on this. And then when the investigation is concluded, together with the CID, we'll let the public, get to know what we've done. And we are interested in safeguarding public health, and we'll continue to work in that regard.
Interesting. Well, you've told us about these 2 people who've been arrested, but the concern is that the FDA is probably losing the trust of the Ghanaian people. Yes, I would say that it's commendable that the day the video came into the public domain, you were swift, you took the CID and arrested these people. But did it have to take a video for you to know that this is what is happening on our markets?
Right. So, like you said, you see, I'm happy you are commending the FDA for this swift action. And I personally think that is one of the, the ways that social media has yielded results, because this practice is alien to us. it's alien because.
But Mr. Archer, someone will disagree with you. For example, the turkey that we usually sell with the yam, locally known as chofi, is dyed. You go onto the market, you have beef, it's dyed. It's looking pink and red and all that. So the use of color in food or the practice of adulterating food may not be so alien to us after all.
Yes, but then the point is we should also understand that, yes, colors, there are food grade colors that is acceptable within certain limits in the food industry. You take your ice cream and you know that your ice cream is colored. Where does the color come from? You understand? So like I said, I do not really want to go into the nitty-gritty of whether there are food, because I don't want to say that they are using maybe food grade color or not. But you see, like you mentioned, color, because you see, most of these people are saying that they are adding this color because it's consumer driven. And that is where we had a huge problem with the palm oil.
Yes.
And especially because it was carcinogenic. Then we had to really, really work so hard on it. Now, like I said, adulteration in any form is fraudulent. And we would not encourage it. You see, we are trying to get people that are probably using the color, as is speculated, is speculated around, that they are using color. And that even the color, is it a food grade or whatever it is? We are working. That's why I don't want to, go into the facts of the matter now. We can assure the public that the Food and Drugs Authority will work so hard, because you see, we all like our oranges, and then now it's a fast world. You are passing by, you want to get some orange to drink, and then somebody is adding something to it. It's not on the known to you.
All right.
You don't want to buy that. For all you know, if the person told you that, oh, this is what I do to it, you might not buy it. You want it, the way it is. Really, that's right. So,
all right, Mr. Archer. There's another big concern, and it has to do with plastic rice and plastic eggs. 5 months ago, the FDA came out to say we didn't have any plastic rice or plastic eggs on the market. But we've seen a couple of videos since that time, people alleging that food they bought from some restaurants or food they cooked in their own homes were plastic. Now, the test is this, that like you can see in the video, the woman is mashing the rice into a bowl using her hands, okay? And the assumption is that when you hit this rice ball on the floor or any hard surface, it should disintegrate. That is the assumption. But you find out that when this test is carried out, the rice doesn't break away. Now look at the height at which she's dropping that. And I actually saw another video where the rice was literally bouncing. The ball of rice was bouncing. I find it a bit strange because I cook and I know even rice balls, when you prepare our local rice balls and you hit it on the ground at this height, it should disintegrate. 5 months ago, the FDA said there was no plastic rice on the market. Do we know for sure now if there's any such thing on the market? Right,
so, and I'm very happy you're showing this video because the lady who did the video and it went viral was in my office yesterday.
Okay.
With the rice samples. And I saw on her Facebook page after she returned from the FDA saying that, in fact, she's now convinced that it is not a plastic rice. You see, you see, much as we encourage people to cooperate with the FDA, if you have information, I think we would also want to advise people that if you have any suspicion of any sort that you are not too sure, the FDA, can be contacted at any time so that we do our first before you even put it
on social media.
Absolutely. You see, because you see, like I said, social media through the orange has yielded results. But we should also not lose sight of the fact that, the same social media, could be used, in a way that will not promote, public health in a way. So this particular video that you just showed to us, like I said,
you run your tests, and it is not plastic rice.
We didn't even have to take it to the lab.
So how did you verify it was
the lady was rice? There, right? This is rice that had been cooked, and then we also had to fill it. Okay, just a second. We felt it. I mean, she was there. A couple of people held it, and then this is rice that was mashing. Okay, we don't know whether it's the same sample that she brought to the office or it was a different sample. How we understand? And we should also know that rice, we have various varieties. Now there are a lot of varieties that are coming, like basmati rice and other rice that is not, the same as our local variety that we have.
Okay, and this particular variety you mentioned, could you say it again? Basmati.
We have basmati. There are different.
What is the feature about basmati that makes it different from the rice we know here?
Right. So they are different. We have it's a variety that is not cultivated in Ghana.
Okay.
Basmati rice is known, in other parts of the world, and now we are importing it into Ghana. Okay. I'm not saying that basmati rice is plastic rice. Okay. I'm saying that it's a different variety. There are different varieties with unique characteristics. Some are very hard. I know of the Nigerian rice, which is very, very hard, and it takes so many, minutes and time, hours to cook, to soften it and all that. So there are different types. My worry is if you have any suspicion, the Food and Drug Authority, even just by call, we will be very, very happy to attend to. Yesterday, for instance, I will tell you, there was a media house that called us on suspected plastic eggs, and you mentioned that. Now, so what we did was, I personally, we drove to the place and then we took the sample. Apparently, we heard that it was a woman who went to buy the plastic rice in a van, and then they were selling it at Medina. She bought some, and then she went to cook it and realized that the thing, when she hit it on the ground, the albumin and then the yolk had all mixed and all that. So she suspected that it was plastic rice and all that.
Plastic egg.
Yeah, plastic egg. And then she said there was an inscription, which we saw, the sample that we saw, there was an inscription. In Ghana, we don't really do marking on our eggs, but in other parts of the world, they do marking on it. So we have that sample.
So we are importing the eggs too?
I can't speak to that.
All right.
But then the one we had, it's on my desk now. We are going to process it to the lab. But one that was cooked, because she bought two, she cooked one, and then one was raw. The one that I can tell you that the one that she cooked is in my office is smelling. It's smelling so badly. So the question somebody is asking is, so how can plastic egg really decompose and then be smelling like that? So like I said, for evidence sake, we'll take it to the lab and do all the examinations that we have to do. But you see, my point is that to some extent, we at the Food and Drug Authority is very, very happy. Okay, we are happy because you see, people are becoming very conscious of what they are eating. And that is very, very important. Like Hippocrates said some time ago, let your food be your medicine and let your medicine be your food. And that is what we at the Food and Drug Authority is interested in. Because see, people must watch. Even like we said, even street food vending. If you are going to buy food by the roadside, look at the environment. Very, very important. The person who is selling the food, the same person is using the hand to take your money, give you change, and use the same hand to dip into the salad and then fetch the salad for you to go and eat. Definitely the person is not promoting good health. And that is what we try to let people understand. That you see, money is very difficult to come by. And so if you have money and you're going to buy food, the onus is on you, the consumer also, to really take certain things into consideration. And that is the public education that we try to give. And I'm happy to tell you that we have a department, a food safety management department, that is ready to work on all these social media issues and other things and see the evidence and then the veracity of the cases that are behind it.
All right, Mr. Archer, I'm just a bit curious because with the issue of this plastic egg, you said the sample is going to be tested in your laboratories. Yeah. Why didn't you do that with the plastic rice? Because you see, I am, and I'm sure a lot of people may be finding it difficult in terms of accepting your verdict without a laboratory test, because this particular rice doesn't seem to disintegrate despite the height from which it's dropped to the ground. And people are just curious, why not conduct a laboratory test which we can verify, which can be replicated, just so we are sure scientifically, not based on people's mere judgments, that this is indeed not plastic rice?
That's what I'm saying, that you see, as we speak now, we saw this in the video. Now, whether that same sample was brought, because we all eat rice.
So why didn't you test it?
Just a second. I'm saying that's what I'm saying, that we all eat rice. Okay? Just this morning, I've eaten rice. And I know how my rice looks like. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. And then you see, there are certain, like you mentioned, maybe the height that he dropped it. At this stage, we are unable to even determine the height that was the sample was dropped. You understand? So we can speak to the evidence that we have. We did, especially what we did in the office.
All right.
Sure, that's what I'm saying.
That's fine. I'm just thinking that
Yes.
it would make it more believable.
It is not in our interest. It is not in our interest to say that this is not the case.
I appreciate,
Absolutely,
but I'm just
yes.
saying that it could make it more believable if we could say we have tested it, and based on every scientific approach, it's not plastic rice.
I'm sure because I didn't say that examination was not conducted in the lab. That is where you have cause to worry.
But it's fine. Let's talk about the job of the FDA.
Right.
For example, does your work include monitoring and inspecting restaurants? Because I had a nasty experience at a restaurant quite recently. I don't want to go into the details of it. It's quite disturbing, and this is supposed to be a plush restaurant, okay? And other people have told stories like that. Does that fall within your jurisdiction in terms of being sure that these so-called plush restaurants are actually adhering to safety standards in terms of what their kitchens look like, make sure no foreign material is entering the foods that they prepare for people?
Yes, yes, at the restaurants, yes, we do a lot of inspections. And let me say that I would have wished that maybe later on we can get the details from you, get to know the facility, whether they have registered with the Food and Drugs Authority. And what we keep on advising these service providers is that, you see, if you're establishing a restaurant, even before, the structure and other things, your layout and other things, it is good to get expert knowledge, okay? Now, granted that everything has been done, we have something we call good hygienic practices, okay, that we expect that every food service establishment, adhere to.
But how often do you monitor them? You say you monitor, but how often do you do it?
We do not just monitor, we do inspection.
How often do you inspect restaurants?
I mean, okay, so we have routine inspection, and then we have, unannounced visits, really. And so it depends. There are some that are so compliant. Depending on your level of compliance, maybe the numbers might not be, the visits might not be that frequent. But then especially where we have problems, yes, then it means that our visit will be more.
Is the FDA under-resourced? Are you struggling? Because I look at the proliferation of restaurants and eateries and, wayside food vendors. That is a lot of work. I want to believe that you are adequately resourced. Are you?
I'm happy you believe so, because this has been repeatedly, mentioned.
In every part of the country.
Yes, in terms of resources, it is good to say that yes, we are under, and this has been, mentioned, over and over again, that yes, we are. But then that notwithstanding, we are making do with the human resource and all those facilities that we have to make sure that public health and safety is secured. And that is very, very important, because you see, the point is everybody is looking up to us as the Food and Drugs Authority.
Sure, because we all can't monitor, we don't have the knowledge.
That is why we went swiftly, to work on the orange thing. And I commend the guy who did the recording, because it's very, very important. I hear it was drizzling, and then he went to, hide somewhere, and then he took the. And I'm so happy, in terms of the leadership and the management of the FDA, that within a matter of, hours, we were able to organize ourselves, get the CID, get the people, and then we went out to do investigations.
All right, Mr. Archer, quite recently, one of my colleagues, Joseph Opoku-Gapo, produced a documentary called Poison on the Menu, and he revealed how not only people using water from drains to water their vegetables, but also the issue of pesticides and application, and how time is not allowed for the pesticides to, or the solution to wear off the product before it's brought onto the market. What should I look out for as a consumer? Safety now. A lot of people are watching us. A lot of people are concerned. What should I be looking out for to be sure that I'm eating healthy, wholesome product?
Right. So I'll take the aspect of sewage that is being applied, sewage water and all that. As you know, that is purely agriculture. And we know we have a Ministry of Agriculture that deals with especially the cultivation at the farm level. Now, beyond that, as a consumer, for instance, you have a head of cabbage that you are going to consume. Now, you want to be sure that it is safe, because normally cabbage is like other fruits are considered as high risk. Now, it is very, very important that you know that if they have applied the sewage water in watering the cabbage on the farm, the outer part definitely will be more contaminated than the
so
inner
you
part.
try as much as possible to peel.
To peel it.
Okay.
And then having peeled it, we say that do some salt solution.
Okay.
And then wash adequately. Allow enough contact time so that there should be some sort of that interaction between the salt and then microorganisms that will be there. We have also advised people to use other sanitizers, that chlorine and other things that could help keep the microorganisms out of it. And then also even handling it is also very important. The tools, the equipment that you're going to use in slicing or cutting the vegetables, they must all be very clean and all that. And then the pesticide, it could be very, very difficult for you, the consumer, really to know that this one has this, concentration of chemical in it. But sometimes it's also very basic, especially when they applied it within a short time, they harvested it and brought it to the market. You could sometimes even see some marking. Okay. Some drawings, some marking of some chemical of it. So if it is harvested within a short time after spraying, you can even smell
it. So we should look out for smell, markings and all that. Unfortunately, our time is up. We have to end it here. But I believe you have a website where some of these tips are published. That's okay, great to have you here. Mr. Archer is a Senior Regulatory Officer of the Food and Drugs Authority. And we've been talking about adulterated food on the market. So you can visit the FDA's website, pick up some few tips so you can be sure that what you're eating and what you're feeding your family is safe. Many thanks for your time here. Thank you very much for coming.